Forum. I will ask you something else listening to you since no one is volunteering right now. You're such a deep romantic about the erotic, about the possibility of the unsaid and the unspoken. And I'm always interested that you keep that space as, and it makes me think of, since we're in Washington, politics. Hannah Arendt once said that love between two people is the apolitical space in the world because it's worldless. It's the end of world as a communal space. And when I listen to you, when you do the example, you always call it the erotic, and I think it also is romantic. And it's
first, I agree with her that I don't believe. First, I'm totally opposed to that stupid Freudo-Marxist leftist dream in communism, sex and work and politics, everything will be the same.
That's not your position, no.
Absolutely not. You know, which is my ideal, and I've written about it, love. Now that they opened up a little bit Russian archives, it's proven that Lenin did have an affair with Inessa Armand. It was done, first, it was a passionate affair. There is a photo which was, of course, censored in Stalinist era, where you see Lenin at her Inessa's funeral. He is totally, obviously, totally broken down. That was his end. But what I like, you know what's my basic notion of true love? Let's say we fight for a cause, whatever is your cause, communism, whatever. True love does not mean I have a love partner and I prefer her. No, you always have, if there is a choice, you have to choose the public cause, science, work, whatever. You don't gain respect in love that's the paradox of love. The message to the man and woman should be, you mean everything to me, but I don't want to ruin it by sacrificing my life totally for you. For me, the idea, and this is what, for example, Lenin and Inessa Armand did. It was, everybody knew it by just talked it, but you know, like, they worked like crazy for the revolution. But the love was outside it as some kind of absolute point. This is why the example that I usually give is Marguerite Duras novels, where there, I hate this Tristan and Isolde bullshit, you know, the two lovers, let's immerse in the night of love and so on. No, love, true love for me is not just dirty things that happen during the night, but as my friend Alain Badiou likes to say, how you build a world out of it, how you restructure your life out of it. And here I agree with you, it's not so much romanticism, but I don't like what is happening today. We apparently live in permissive times, but not quite. I claim our spontaneous ideology is some kind of hedonist Buddhism. You know, like, be truly yourself, realize your potentials, but don't too much, as they like to say, this Jedi wisdom, don't get too much attached to any object and so on, you know. And no, for me, love doesn't function like that. And this is why today, like, if love is too passionate, it's almost perceived as something obscene, prohibited, this type. We don't live in...
Alain Badiou says to love reconstruct. It's a revolutionary new world. So the other example I would say is Gilles Deleuze says, when Angela Davis is on trial, he say, this is a woman in love. And says it's a revolutionary world out of that. So it's not a world that we know, you love and you keep on recreating the same world. So this is what I meant by the romantic part of you.
I agree. But also what I want to emphasize is this one, that here, although I have other problems with Hannah Arendt, but here I agree totally with her that love should be kept apart is an exception. It's not that, you know, I hate again this idea.
Let me ask you another thing. The Supreme Court of this country decided that same-sex marriage is legal. Hannah Arendt would have said no love could have been legislated at all points. She said one of the greatest scandals in this country was that miscegenation was not legal until 1967, Love versus Virginia. She said that should never be regulated politically at all. And in a weird way, she would have probably not been totally in favor of legislating what marriage could be. She said that should be out of the realm of politics altogether.
But what does this mean?
It means
But if you are a so-called normal heterosexual couple, then it's still legislated
So
or
it's a
what?
question of equality, but she said, but it should ultimately probably not be decided by the state at all.
I am here, that's interesting, because I am here much more, again you would say romantic, you know, in what sense? I'm well aware of all this Marxist stuff that marriage is not just love. Marriage resolves the problem of inheriting property, all that. But precisely today, when for the great majority of people, what is at stake is not property. The beauty of marriage for me is two people declare publicly, fuck you with ultimately don't care, fuck off, you know, like, we have our space, you are out. It's a beautiful public act.
This is the marriage vow.